Welcome to Networking with Nathaniel, a podcast where I get to talk to business owners, personal develop people that are working on their personal development, just people that are working on their growth, where we get to talk about their journeys, their successes, their struggles, and what's working for them right now. I am Nathaniel Hovsepian, host of Networking with Nathaniel. Go figure. I am a real estate investor, a health and wellness coach for busy dads. More importantly, I am a husband and a father. First and foremost, we are family first around these parts. I have done many, many real estate transactions in my careers. I have helped other people get started in real estate and go on to have investing careers of their own. I have helped busy dads take control of their health and wellness through movement, nutrition, mindset, time blocking, goal setting. This show is not about me, though, and all of that. This show is about those guests that I mentioned who come on and share their journeys, their successes, their struggles, their stumbles, and how you can overcome some of those on your own, in your own path. Before we get to our guests today, if you're first time here, hang out a little bit. If you like what you see, if you like what you hear, if there's some value given, please subscribe to the channel. Even if it's your first time here, just hit the like button so we can reach more people. It makes my day if a little ping happens. I love it. Without further ado, let me welcome two of our potential three guests today, Josh Rosenfeld, Zach Thomas. They are Mintstar. I almost said Mint Street. Mintstar Home Solutions and Porchlight
Solutions. Yes,
Advisors.
sir.
From the middle of the screen, Mintstar and his partner Austin, who might be joining us.
He's hopping on right now.
He's
He
hopping
texted
in.
me. I texted him the link.
Awesome. We'll see how this layout plays out with that. Maybe we'll go to one of the other views, but this is the first time on Networking with Nathaniel I've had more than one guest. We've got two, and we're going to have three here in a second, or a third in a second here. But tell us what you guys are working on, Josh, from the Mint Star, and then we'll kind of hop in and see how Zach plays into that.
Lord, what aren't we working on right now? I
Yeah.
mean, me and Zach were working on a bunch of land in Brunswick County. I help out other investors, realtors, moving their properties they take sub to with our lease to own program. So we're doing deals in the Carolinas and a couple across the country. We're talking with people. We do boots on the ground, project management. So if we're not buying, selling the deal or JVing it with you, I'll drive out there, go put lock boxes. I did an eviction notice last week, went to eviction court, and even after the transaction with project management. So I mean, there's really many things that I'm not working on right now, to be honest, because that's one of the biggest parts of our business model is just to be diversified. Because I'm sure in your years of doing this, Nathaniel, if you only try to wholesale or if you only try to fix and flip and limit yourself to one or two strategies, then if those strategies dry up, what do you got? So that's why
Yeah.
we like to stay diversified with what we do and provide value in every area that we can to anybody.
Yeah, awesome. Welcome, Austin. It looks like you're driving right now, so please be safe. Appreciate you being here. How do you guys got so much going on. How are you divvying up responsibilities and roles between the two of you? And then do you have, outside of the two of you, do you have a team that you guys work with?
Yeah, so when it comes to acquisitions and dispositions and just getting a face and a voice out there to talk with somebody, that's me. My background comes from door to door sales, so I literally had to learn how to knock on somebody's door I don't know and get them to like me. So I love it when it comes to just networking, trying to sell a deal, trying to buy a deal, trying to help somebody out. And we do have one other team member named Terrell, our caller, that does a lot of the helps me at least with the acquisition side.
Okay, and he's like a cold caller?
Yeah, he's our cold caller.
Okay. Okay. I know you and I have had a handful of conversations over the past, I don't know, 12 months or so. And I just always imagined, when you hear cold callers in our sphere and sub two, you think overseas VA kind of a cold caller. So how's that? Have you had uh, an overseas cold caller before? And how is that? If so, how is that experience different from what Terrell brings to the table?
Austin can partly answer this question, but I think there was, I think 2 times, I know at least one that me and Austin tried to go the virtual route overseas. And really, the problem is that I've had with it is I'm very tedious, and I like a structure with how I like my people reaching out, because we like to set ourselves apart. Because don't get me wrong, anybody can come out here and say, "Hey, I want to buy your house. Hey, I want to do this." But it's like we were talking about, the power of speaking with conviction out here. I like for people to know that we're different, that we're genuine, that we're true to our word on there, and what we say we're going to do is what we're going to do. And if it works, great, let's do business. If not, then you're not my seller. If I'm trying to, let's say, wholesale your property, and I'll even tell people I'm going to wholesale their property, and 9 out of 10 say, okay, yeah, that's cool. If you make a little bit on top, then hey, that's cool, as long as you bring us what we want. And that's just with
Yeah.
speaking with that conviction and transparency with people.
Yeah. That's what, like, the deals that have done the best for us are the ones where I was like, I'm not the right fit because da 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 da. Then they end up coming back because of that. Hey, you were the most honest with me. You told me what was going on. I want to do business with you. Pace Morby, he talks about his bunny story, which is he just was truthful with this person and then was honest and, hey, what else can I help you with since I'm here already? And that person ends up coming back and doing his first ever, I think it was his first ever creative deal at the time. So I love that. Zach, where do you fit into this trio, I guess?
So my team is actually they're more or less legal support, right? My company actually handles it. Well, as of yesterday, we are actually a closing firm in North Carolina. We handle closings throughout the state. Um, I've worked with Josh and Austin for a long, long time. I like how they operate. They're very transparent, very straight to the point. I have worked with thousands and thousands of investors. One thing I can say about Josh is I've seen him in action personally. And the fact that he can just go up to them and say, hey, look, this is how, what our game plan here, and this is the options. Whereas I've seen some wholesalers, some investors pretty much get told, hey, you got to lie through your teeth to get the job done. It's not true. It really isn't. And I can attest to the fact that I have seen it plenty of times in action through Josh. But my company is title cleaners. That's going to be the easiest way to put it. Heirs, estates, genealogy, tax issues. I think our biggest one that we closed was last year with 27 heirs, and it was 14 different states. It took us
Wow.
6 months, but guess what? It closed. Clear title, everything was fixed. So on my side, I am pretty much their legal support, helping doing the contracts, helping make sure the closings get done, everything structured above board, making sure that there is, once it's done above board legally, and there's no issues, right? My goal is that everybody's happy and everybody wins.
I love it. So this you just brushed over really quick. You had a big announcement that just happened today or
Yes.
yesterday, you said. Yeah, so
Yep.
that was it.
Yep.
What's so big about this?
So I used to do closings for a lot of different attorneys, right? You work with attorneys, they're in charge. The attorney does the title review, stamps it, paralegals do all the work. This one is pretty much going to be one of the only ones. Well, it's going to be the only one in North Carolina where we own our company and we work and hire an attorney who is going to be having the license, the title, review, trust account, and everything else. Um,
Yeah.
in the end, everyday business operation is going to be on us. It's going to be our decision. One of the big things that I've already argued with attorneys about is attorneys behind the desk, they're reviewing title. That's where they should be. But if they they need somebody to run their business. One of the biggest flaws in, and I'm sure Josh and Austin can attest to it, in law firms is communication. You send an email, wait 3 days to get something back, or you don't get a phone call. That's a pet peeve of mine. We're all on the same team. Real estate takes a village, and that is where we're trying to set ourselves apart from, because we can run it the way we want it ran. Right? We have the ability to change the operations, to make sure we have things in place to get this done. And this is something that we're doing to not only help Josh and Austin and his team, but every other investor in the
Oh
state.
no. Okay. It's frozen on my end for. Oh no. Okay, you're back, Zach. For me.
Okay.
I'm sure the audio will be. Yeah. I'm sure the audio on your end will be all right. We'll get that in post. But I wanted to ask. Zach, you're coming on in a few weeks to talk a little bit more about your specific. What you're specifically working on, as well as. I used the word debacle, and you thought that was a good use of the word debacle that's going on in the Carolinas right now regarding wholesaling and how that is all playing out. I know you've been a big part of that. You mentioned that typically a closing, a title. What did you call yourself? A title clearer?
I'm a sucker, right? I like dirty title. I like the hard stuff, right?
Yeah.
That's what I learned on. That's what I got in the beginning of. So it's a title fixer, right? You
Title
fix
fixer.
title
Yeah.
for a living.
Yeah. Typically a company like that, like you're saying, is owned by an attorney. And I love this, that you're taking that out of just let them focus on what they're supposed to be focused on. They didn't do this to become business owners. And I don't want to say most of the time, but a lot of the times they're not running the best business. And so free them up. You're almost like hiring them as a contractor in a sense. It sounds like come in.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. I love that. On the Mint Star side of things, Austin, Zach, or Josh, what are your goals that you have? You have land and lease options and all these wholesaling and all these different things. What goals have you guys set in place for 2025, the rest of the year, as we're kind of reaching that halfway point?
If you don't mind, I'll touch on that real quick. So,
Yeah.
On the MinStar thing, that I'm going to give you a short version because there's a very long version and there's a long story behind why we got into MinStart. But Josh and I have worked together for 6 years, and we both found each other through door-to-door sales, same company. He was brought on and worked with me in Little Pink Houses of America, North Carolina, and then we expanded to South Carolina, and eventually kind of just company wasn't going the way we wanted it to go, kind of was going downhill. We were doing things for the company, then not getting compensated. So we left and started MinStart, right? That's the short version. And we brought over some affiliates from Little Pink Houses to our company to still work with them. Now, through all that, there's been hiccups and learning curves through that process. And so I would say really this year, what we're trying to do is we're trying to really help some of these affiliates that were with Pink that are still with us to find some success in real estate, and then also bring on other affiliates as well that may have some grounding in real estate and some may not have a grounding in real estate. The big difference, I'll say, with what we're trying to do is obviously there's a lot of people like the Pace Morbies, out there. And there's nothing wrong with Pace Morby, but a lot of them are all kind of doing, I'll say, the same thing, right? They all are selling a course. They all have like the preloaded videos. And I mean, unless you're paying a boatload of money and you know someone who knows someone, you're probably not going to meet them and actually have a lot of one-on-one training, right? So the affiliate model that we're trying to perfect is, hey, like instead of just a preloaded library of like 5-minute videos, we're wanting to like actually walk with you hand in hand to find success. Like you need us to hop on calls. You want us to help provide you leads. You want us to, even do like a virtual meeting with your seller. and even help you, sell the deal and make sure it closes properly with Zach's company. At least on the TC side, if they're not in North Carolina, then that's kind of what we're looking to do. So the goal this year is really just to kick the ground off and get people to have some success and do some deals, because the affiliates that we brought over from Little Pink Houses, they none of them really did any deals, and some of that is certainly on them, but a lot of it is on Pink, and it's unfortunate. Again, I'm not going to go too deep into it, but they spent a lot of money to be with Pink, and they got really not much of anything. So we're really working on a pro bono basis with them, where we're not really making any money up front, but we're just like, hey, we'll earn a percentage with you while we're working with you, and is that ideal all the time? No, it's not. But we're trying to show them that, like, hey, we're here to work with you guys. We really want to get in the trenches and find success with you guys long term. So that's really what it is. I mean, if we can help them find some success and build our brand further across the country of being, like, we'll call it the honest real estate investment company, a third option, and that's kind of what we're trying to build. And I don't have all the answers, nor does Josh, and even Zach, who advises us on our company, probably doesn't have all the answers either. But we're excited about it. This will be our first calendar year, because we really started like late October last year. So this will be our first calendar year going at it. And we're excited about the process of it.
Yeah, that sounds exciting. We're going to take a break really quick for a no shame plug sponsor of, let's see, Fit Fatherhood. If you're a busy dad out there, or a busy dad that's looking to take control of their health and wellness, now is the time to reach out. You can reach out to me personally on Facebook or Instagram. You could go to nathanielhefsepian.com. You can find our Facebook group there. We are starting a 5-week reset this upcoming Monday, June 9th, I believe it is, where we're going, June 9th, where we're going to help a handful of dads really take control of their health and wellness through fitness, through movement, through nutrition, through mindset, through time blocking and goal setting, and all the things that come along with setting a good example for ourselves, our businesses, and our families. So if that's something that you or somebody you know is interested in, please reach out. Back to exit solo mode. Oh, sweet. I did it. Okay. So this is, as Yolanda mentioned, an out-of-the-box model. Right now, you mentioned a couple times, and I want to just make sure that I'm clear on what is an affiliate doing? What are you doing for the affiliates? Because you also mentioned, it's not a portal of videos. This is, hey, you need this. Let me hop on the phone and walk you through how it is. It's not so much a coaching, as at least from the sounds of it, as kind of a hand holding and a walking you through the process.
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, it's kind of a combination. I mean, so we have held a once a week training coaching session for them. That's like an hour long, and that could cover a variety of topics. That either they suggest or that Josh and I decide to cover. And yeah, throughout the week, we have what's called an on-call hour. So there's like 3 hours that either Josh, myself, or even Rob, who's not on the call, who's kind of an older advisor for us, we would make ourselves available for whatever they need. They could be, like I said, hey, I'm looking at this deal. Can you confirm this? Hey, I'm looking at these loan docs. Can you look at this? Or hey, can you hop on this call with a seller or a buyer or this agent? So yeah, it's availability really is probably one of the biggest things we wanted, because with our old program, no one was ever available. So we wanted to really attack that of like, hey, we're going to try to be available as much as possible, really trying to make it a goal of ours to have a daily availability from at least one of us. And it, like I said, that could vary the level of what we're doing for the person, but ultimately it's going to really rely on like how much does someone want to put in, right? Which is always, business and sales in general. But I mean, we're not there to to force anyone, right? They're not an employee. So it's like, if they don't want to, they can put in 30 hours a week, they can put in 5 hours a week, that's up to them. So that's kind of what that looks like. But yeah, it's a lot of hand holding. It's a lot of just being there, availability, some accountability, and yeah, just trying to build out what they want. If they want to just go after all lease to owns, great. If they want to really focus on buying rentals, that's fine. So we're kind of trying to do a custom approach with people. Obviously, we want them to focus on doing deals, because if we're doing a model where we're mainly making money off of, pro bono and doing deals with them, then, we want them to obviously pursue deals. But yeah, we're able to work with them wherever. And even if they don't like cold calling, Josh, Terrell, and even I are there where we can build out something with them, where we can make the calls for them and kind of give them like a layup of like, okay, here's like an appointment, call them, confirm, get things signed, let us know if you have any issues, right? But we did the main body of work on the call for them. So, and that's obviously, an additional cost or deal split percentage, but we're trying to make it work for everybody. Like even if you only have a little bit of time but you have willingness, we're trying to find a way to make it work. Again, are we still continuing to tweak the business model? Absolutely. And is it perfect right now? It is not. But that's kind of where we've been, and that's kind of in the direction we're going. And, maybe a year from now, you're talking to us and it's a lot different. But that's where we're at right now.
Yeah, I love it. That's part of this. Yeah, it looked like, Zach, it looked like you wanted to chime in.
Yeah, so when they first brought this to me, this idea, I really enjoyed it. Big supporter of it, because I'm always a believer real estate takes a village. Doesn't matter if you have 10, 15 years experience or you're brand new. You're going to have that support team. You're going to have those individuals. You can pay all day long for courses, but the ability to have someone there and walk with you through these deals, especially with no deal's the same, right? So changing it from a textbook to a live action, Josh and Austin have kind of set something up that really works, right? And it works for everyone, because some of their people, they have day jobs. They might not be able to get to the point right now to do this all day every day, but they want to get into real estate, to make that. They have the drive. That's what they want to do for a living. This is a way for them to get education, get the experience, but also have that backup there for when life hits. They have people there to back them up and help get it done. Like I've always said, real estate takes a village, and you kind of have to build that. And Austin and Josh have kind of pretty much put that together for people to already have that network.
It takes a village aspect is not something that I realized was so prudent or important until I joined Sub 2. Austin, you mentioned Pace Morby. I think that's how Josh and I met.
More likely.
Yeah, more than likely. And the community aspect of it was, I joined Sub 2 because I wanted to learn sales. I want to get better at sales and creative finance. It was the community that really kept me going. Because of that, hey, if I have a question, I can reach out, and now I do it for other people, like I mentioned at the top of this. But what you guys are doing is even a step further now, is that I'm here and I'm available. You don't have to reach out to a Facebook group and hope somebody responds, or, reach out to the couple people. Like, I'm here for you. So I love that you guys are doing that. Yolanda did ask a question in the chat, which is, how many affiliates are you working with? I would even go and take that a step further. How many affiliates do you have that you're working with right now? And like, what kind of services, or like, where's the gamut that they run? And I'll unmute
So
you,
currently we have 8 affiliates, and they're primarily on the East Coast.
Okay.
But yeah, we have 8 affiliates right now, talking to probably like 5 to 10 other individuals right now that are looking to potentially join us here in the next couple months. But yeah, about 8 right now that we're working with. And then what was the second part of that question? I'm sorry.
Oh no, you kind of answered it. Like where are they all? I used the word gamut. That's not the right word, but primarily on the East Coast. Is there a number that you're looking to get to and kind of cap yourself there, or are you just trying to grow?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, we talked about that early on. Like, is there like a real number that we want to definitely hit? I would say that we don't have that number. I would say that, yeah, like we just want to grow. And even if that means growing like, only like 5 to 10 a year, if it meant that it was like steady growth and it meant people like, quality people over quantity, I would rather have that, versus like we added 100 people, but the quality is really poor, and it's kind of in chaos mode. So yeah, I would say, yeah, just adding the right people is what we want to do. Adding the right people.
I like that. That's, I shameless plug. As I'm starting to add an affiliate into the podcast, I'm going to use Fit Fatherhood because that's where I'm aligned with. And we are I feel like it's on your end, Austin. I don't know if everybody else can hear it, but let me see. Yeah, it is. Okay. I'll just unmute you as we need to. Is that we capped ourselves for this first 5-week reset at 10. We're really probably shooting for 8. Is just that's where Zach, when I say we, Zach Bush and I thought that our bandwidth would be. And we really want to provide that, like you guys are doing, that accessibility and that support and the accountability, where if you guys need something, we're here for you. We thought that if we take it more than that, we're going to lose an element of that. So I love that you're like, we don't want to just grow exponentially and find ourselves where we're not providing that support and that, that necessary availability to these people. We want them to come in here and have a lot of success and go out and do deals and get the the things that they need from us, the resources and the time. That way they can go and have word of mouth and pass it on to other people. So I really love that. What do you see as obstacles getting in your way, or hurdles or roadblocks, whatever you want to call it, bottlenecks that are going to prevent you guys from taking this thing to where you want to take it?
For me, I would really say the only roadblock that I can see would be ourselves, because we've worked together for multiple years. And when we set out goals and set out expectations, we go out and hit them. When we set our minds to something, we could do anything that we want. So it's really just myself, ourselves, whatever you want to call it, would be the only roadblock. I don't personally like to make excuses or say this, that. I mean, I have to go out and get it at the end of the day. I mean, I take care of my mom. She's disabled. So I have no option other than to go out and get it. And the only roadblock that could ever block me from success is just my own self. That's just bottom line.
I love that. Yeah.
I would say for me, I mean, I totally agree with Josh. I think he's on the money as well. I mean, right, we can all say that, right? Ultimately, like what's going to limit you? Always yourself, right? To some degree, like you're always going to be your biggest enemy or your biggest fan, So definitely myself, Josh's self, certainly we can either limit ourselves or we can excel each other. I would say the other component would just be finding those right people that fit, right? Because again, if we have the wrong people in, it's not a good fit. And I would say, kind of going back to like an old saying that everyone's heard, it's tiresome. And Jack and Josh have heard me say it many times. So you can lead a horse to water, but you can't force them to drink, right? So it's like if we have the wrong people, right, and that could be a lot of things, right? It can mean that they're unmotivated, unwilling, don't have the time, not willing to put the time in, or they're just not really cut out to run a full-fledged real estate business, then they're not going to be a good affiliate, and it doesn't matter what we say, it doesn't matter about our availability, doesn't matter about like what we can teach them, it doesn't matter. So, I would say pushing each other to be the best versions of ourselves and then finding the right people are probably going to be the two biggest things.
I agree with that.
Yeah, nothing to add. No.
No, nothing to add.
Yeah.
I agree wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
That's the letting yourself not get in your own way,
Yeah.
but also having that support team behind you that has the same aspiration and goals.
Hmm. Hint, hint, Porchlight. How are you guys finding people, or how are they finding you right now?
So originally, right, the original 8 that we have, and even some people that we're still speaking to, were somehow affiliated to Little Pink Houses. Most of them, right?
Okay.
Like either they were an affiliate in their own area, they dealt with issues, they were disgruntled, they were not satisfied. So when we left, we said, hey, we're doing this. If you want to join, you can. Let's talk about it. If not, that's okay. So that's where our initial group came from. Now going into our calendar year and really getting to that 1 year fiscal year, Josh and I are opening it up now to people that were not, right? Like it doesn't matter now if you were affiliated with Pink, in any capacity. We just want to find people that have the willingness, the drive, the motivation, and everything aligns, right? Like, does what we're putting out there make sense to you? If it doesn't, well, it might not make sense, but if it does, great, let's talk about it. Josh, you have anything you want to add on that, or?
Really, no. You hit everything on the head with that.
Yeah, you guys mentioned, at least Josh and Zach did as well, just from different aspects, from different points of view, essentially. The leading with transparency, Zach, you said, you run into a lot of people that think that they just have to lie through their teeth in order to get deals done. Well, when you have those values clear from a personal standpoint and from a business standpoint, it makes it easy to go, hey, if you're coming in here and you think that you're just going to lie through your teeth, you're not the right fit for us. Yes, I want more affiliates, but I need to make sure that we're aligned in those respects. And that's just one I'm sure that you guys have identified as values that you hold as from personal standpoint, but also as a company. Talking from from the company aspect, are there any things that you guys have habits wise, daily actions, weekly action things that you guys have put into place where you feel are really moving your needle forward?
Oh yeah, last year it's been about a year since I started working out and actually being consistent with my weight and everything. And it's, yeah, I mean, where I was last year, as far as everywhere, it's just gone up because I'm in a lot better place in my head and physically and mentally on there. I work out 2 times a day, 6 days a week, sometimes
Okay.
7.
Yeah.
I just, it's one of the only places I get peace at in the world is when I'm working out or doing some cardio. Just throw in the AirPods and I'm in my own world and within a world.
Yeah. I love that. That's not an aspect that I've talked about a whole lot, but when you say that, it's very true, is that I get to go just disappear in a sense into whatever the workout I am doing. And I run the gamut of different things that I do throughout the week, from running to playing basketball, kettlebells. That's just because I need the variation. I can't just go to the gym and lift
And
weights.
Austin always gives me always, you need to slow down. You're going to wear yourself out. This, it's like, I get that, but I still got to have my peace at the end of the day. If I don't go to the gym in a day, I'm just in a bad mood.
Yeah. Yeah, it's counterintuitive that you go to the gym and you expend all this energy, you think it's just going to drain you for the rest of the day, but it actually revitalizes you and gives you an energy boost throughout the day. And I don't necessarily love the double dipping workouts, but if it's working for you, if you're not feeling drained and you're seeing success from it, the clarity, the focus, all those things, then by all means keep doing it. For me, that would probably drain me, but I do mine in the morning. Austin, anything from on your end, that like things that you've put into place?
I mean, certainly. I mean, well, first I'll say, like I said earlier, the business is a work in progress, and I'm a work in progress, right? So, I'm constantly tweaking myself, and that's, with my own personal schedule and, you know, getting rid of bad habits, installing good habits. And, just recently I just went through a period of, engagement, which, with my now wife, which was awesome, but it was also, a lot of stress and,
Yeah.
chaos around that. And, so I'm glad that now I'm through that. I'm in the house in one town. I'm not 2 hours away from her anymore, and we're in one place, and I can just kind of sit down and actually, feel myself again, and get back into the rhythm that I feel that I lost a little bit during that period. But yeah, the two big things for me are always, one, working out, exercise is key. I don't think right, I don't feel right if I'm not doing it. So just like Josh, I have to do it consistently each week, or else I'm a little screwy. And I'm already screwy, so I can't afford any more screws loose.
Yeah.
And then secondly, I mean, faith is big. I'm not gonna, get into it and, make this into like a whole, I'm gonna preach to everybody, but like God is very important to me. My relationship with Jesus is extremely important, and without God, I don't know where I'd be. That's there's a lot of directions I could go with that, but again, to keeping on pace here, we're not going to go into those things, but yeah, those two things are huge. They keep me on track, they keep my mind right, and they reset me when I'm not acting correctly. So that's what I would say for
Yeah, I
me.
love that. I appreciate you sharing that, without, like you said, getting too preachy. But yeah, I think that it aligns with a lot of people that have been on networking with Nathaniel before. It aligns with a lot of the audiences that, leading with him first. It's something that I'm still working on in my business, in my relationship with my wife and my kids. So I appreciate you sharing that. Zach, how about you? And then I'm asked from a business standpoint.
So my biggest thing, I think that helps me, and everybody, my biggest flaw for years was I went 24/7.
Mm,
Like, you just, and you've got to decompress.
yeah.
It sounds weird, but my decompression comes from my time at the fire department. I am a volunteer firefighter. I've been one since I was 16. So Mondays and Wednesday nights, I'm at the station. Those are and running calls in between. That's my decompression. It's training, working out, being with the guys. Serving the community kind of
Mm,
helps get you out of being in real estate all the time into something else, and gives your mind a break a little bit, right? Like you put on your headphones and you go for a run. You don't sit here and just think about work the whole time. You think about other things. So
yeah.
my time on the fire department is where I think this helped me most recently.
That's it. That reminds me a little bit of uh, I'm almost certain it's Albert Einstein that works at the patent office, and just he was going through patents all the time, and he would
Yep.
have these breakthroughs because he was allowing his mind to rest from that and go through something
Yep.
else. I find when I do go out for a run or just a walk with the kids, sometimes those are the whoa, okay, wait, I need my note app right now because I just thought of some crazy thing that I need to make sure gets taken down and remembered. From a business standpoint, this is, I guess, a little bit more towards Josh and Austin. From a team aspect, are there any things that you guys have put in place that are moving the needle? I'm just where to see where my head's going, like daily team
Well,
meetings, goal setting things,
sure.
whatever. Like, yeah.
Yeah, so I'll let Josh obviously can answer as well, but I know recently, in the past as well, but recently as well, and kind of, I'll say, this second half of the year, after I got done with my wedding and that whole process, I told Josh, I was like, hey, let's build an accountability, schedule of like, what are we doing each day, what are we doing each week, how many hours are we putting into it, kind of reset, get back to the basics, right? Get back to the basics, which, I think we always have done, but we sometimes, like, you get in the groove, you get in the rhythm of life, and you kind of stray, So I felt that Josh and I, at least collectively, had done that. So it was like, hey, let's just write a schedule down. We're going to have it on Google Docs. I can see his, he can see mine. He's going to check in with me each day. I'm going to check in with him each day. Okay, are you doing the things you said you're going to do? What are you doing today? What are we working on today? You know, so I think that's really what we're trying to re-implement and re-emphasize again for 2025 and then moving forward. But Josh can give his 2 cents. He might say I'm full of crap.
You pretty much answered that for me though, Austin.
Yeah, I love that. But your time at Pink Homes,
Little Pink
right?
Houses.
Little Pink Houses. Okay, I think you mentioned it. I may have missed it though. How did that come to an end? Was it a thing where they shut down, or was it just you parting of ways on your part? Like, this isn't working for us anymore.
Very bad communication as far as with the owners. They eventually cut back all of the coaches. So for the affiliates, it was really hard for them to get a hold of everybody. And then, like Austin said earlier, I was every Wednesday I would do a 1 hour Facebook Live on the old group, the old company group thing, just a cold calling. I would take calls that for people that were doing acquisitions and disposition based deals, and I didn't get paid $1. Austin was coaching, I think like a bag of chips and like $5 to a cheap ball game somewhere like that for coaching on there. And then while all this is going on, those affiliates spent 20, 30, 40, 50 grand to these people, and they're not getting what they're promised. It was supposed to be a hand on the glove type of business for them, where a lot of the stuff that we offer, like on call hours, coaching, the training call each week, hey, call us anytime that if stuff's hit the fan, like we're here. That's what we're providing, and they didn't, and it just wasn't right, you know. And me and Austin, we have made our money back, and then some, my friend, we have, and a couple other people did. The majority of them didn't, and it's just not right. And I don't like to. We don't want to associate ourselves with people that do dishonest.
I'm muting Josh just because on my end it's really hard. Can you pick it up where he was at, Austin? Do you kind of follow in where he was? I can't unmute you for some reason. It was really breaking up, Josh.
Can you hear me better?
Okay, yeah, I'm back. Yeah, so yeah, Josh and me hit the head.
Oh dang! I wonder if it's a me thing. No, he's totally frozen. Zach seems to be with me still.
I'm still here with you. I'm looking at my internet, wondering if it was me or not.
Yeah, it must be them. Them two. Let's go. Okay. Josh is gone.
Can you hear me? Okay,
I can hear Austin.
All
yeah,
right.
Austin's back.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there. I was connected to the Wi-Fi because I thought that breaking up thing was me.
It looks like it was Josh. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I was just going to say the only other thing I would add to what Josh explained was that they were not ethical. A lot of what they were doing was not moral and borderline illegal. A lot of the things they were doing and kind of how they were running and operating their business and operating and dealing with these affiliates. And so not only was there a lot of disgruntledness and frustration on the affiliate side and also Josh and I's side, but there was also a part of like, man, I don't know if I want to have any association with this company anymore because we might get dragged into something, you know? So it was almost like we were worried about, you know, like the legal repercussions ourselves of staying around with Little Pink Houses as well. And that was another motivating factor of us getting out of there and making the move.
That's where my head went when he was saying, "Hey, I'm in the group making calls. Like, you're the one that people are seeing right now." And so when stuff's going negative, they go, "Well, Josh, what the heck, dude? I don't have anything to do with it. I'm just trying to help. I'm just trying to serve my role here and help out." So, as we wrap up, as we're getting close to the end of this hour, I want to make sure that I'm respectful of all your times. And there being 3 of us here, what's the best way for people to reach out to you guys, Josh and Austin, if they want to be an affiliate, if they have deals to work on, whatever the case may be?
So we both have a MintStart email, so you can reach out to either Josh at mintstarthomesolutions.com or Austin at mintstarthomesolutions.com. That's probably the best way to reach out to us on an official basis. My phone number also is 252-375-7524. Josh, let the audience know your phone number. That's also how you can reach out to us for deals as well.
Josh is still having technical difficulties over there. There we go.
I think
Okay.
okay, it's not scratchy no more. It was scratchy
No,
for
it's
a while
good.
when y'all were talking.
Yeah.
What's the best phone number for you, Josh?
Area code 910, phone number 756-0617.
Awesome. We'll put those. I'll make sure those get into the description, the show notes here. Zach, I know we're going to hold on one sec. It's got to be. We're
I
going
had
to
a
dive a
call
little
at
bit
3
deeper.
a.m. last night, Nathaniel. So anybody watching, if y'all call me at 3 a.m., it better be a lottery ticket, by the way. It better be a lottery ticket deal. 3:43 was the time exact.
Man, my phone goes on silent at 8:30 automatically, so that doesn't happen. But I typically don't have people calling at 3 o'clock in the morning. Zach, we're going to dive deeper into what you've got going on, like I said. But if anybody's interested in learning more about Porchlight Advisors on this episode over the next 3 weeks, I think it's 3 weeks that you're coming back on. What's the best way to reach out to you?
Easiest way would be to email me at porchlightadvisors@gmail.com or just call me. Cell phone 704-698-7660.
And I'm dropping the emails in the chat. For the event start, you just have to add Josh or Austin in front of the @ sign there. I like to ask all the guests on Networking with Nathaniel, and you gave me the before we started, Zach. So we'll see how this goes. But if you could each maybe a book or two that you've listened to or read that have moved the needle in your lives, be that from a business standpoint, a personal development, whatever the case may be, something that maybe you're just really interested in.
You want me to start?
Don't everybody go
Oh,
first.
sorry. I thought you were at.
I'll
Mine
start
would be. Mine would be. It's by Stephen Arnio. It's Hard Times Create Strong Men, Weak Times Create Weak Men. And you look over the history. Let's say World War II, right? Hard times, right? Germany and Japan were going crazy. Had to create strong men to storm the beach in Normandy to liberate Europe on there. Fast forward a couple decades later, there was really nothing. Soft times come up, and you look at today's generation where a lot of people are just soft compared to 40, 50 years ago.
Yeah. I didn't realize that was actually a book. I thought that was just a quote based on the concept from history. Interesting. Yeah, that's cool. I'll want to check that one out. Since you're not muted right now, Zach, let's go to you.
Okay, so I would say Frank Gorelli's What Every Real Estate Investor Needs to Know About Cash Flow.
Oh,
It is a book on underwriting.
okay.
Numbers, things like that. Um, I'm a big education person, so I would recommend that book to everybody.
Awesome. I appreciate that one. That is not one. I mean, neither of those have come up that I can remember on Networking with Nathaniel yet. So, Austin, you've got your work cut out for you. Can we go 3 for 3?
Well, I was going to say, you said 2, I believe, correct? So I was just going to mention 2 very briefly. One, I'm always going to recommend to anybody is the Bible. Again, not to get, super deep in there, but a lot of wisdom, obviously, from top to bottom in the Bible. Book I would recommend, other than the Bible, though, I would say is How to Win and Influence People, I believe, by Dale Carnegie. Great book. Obviously, a lot of great stuff by Dale Carnegie, but that's my favorite book by him.
Yeah, I love it. You mentioned the Bible. That has come up quite a few times now. And it is, whether you are a believer or not, it is such a great source of information and insights into, you don't think about it, but into your personal development, but also from a business side of things and being an entrepreneur. There's so much in there. Just like, I didn't think that the Bible had that in there. So whether you're a believer or not, there is a lot of good. There's a reason that book has stuck around and done so well. So this is where it gets interesting. not that interesting, but I'll start with Zach this time. Is Zach, when your time on this earth is done, what do you want to be remembered for by the people that you've left behind?
People that I've been able to help.
Hmm.
You can't take things with you when you go, but you can leave that legacy behind. And I think your best legacy you can leave is the individuals that you have touched, whether in real estate or any other way, and have been able to help change their life for the better.
Hmm.
Because in the end, all that's going to do is help change their life, and they're going to end up passing it forward as well.
Amazing. Austin, what about you? When your time on this earth is done, what do you want to be remembered for by the people you left behind?
Well, it's a deep. I would say it's a deep question, but it's very simple. I would say on a simple level, just know that I was there. Know that I was there. I was present for my friends, for my family. I showed up. I showed them love. Showed them that they could count on me. Is I think a big thing for me.
Yeah, I love that word present. Presence. It's a signature in my emails. Like, yesterday is history, tomorrow's a mystery, today is a gift. That's why it's called the present. And it goes down to even just in the moment. So often as high achievers, from my standpoint as a dad, as a husband, we feel pulled towards all these other things. Like, hey, I got to make the call, I got to sign the agreement, I got to call the insurance agency, whatever that may be. But it's about staying present in the moment, especially with the people that you care about, like you just mentioned, because that's what lasts. That's what has the impact. It's not sitting there and being stuck to your phone and thinking about other things. It's being here with that other person. And we only have so many moments together. So I really love that. Josh, last one. When your time on this earth is done, what do you want to be remembered for by the people you left behind after you unmute?
Oh, thank you. The one thing I want to be remembered by is creating a strong family, creating a tight knit one, and one that I can eventually have kids, teach them real estate, teach them what I know, and pass it down so that way I can have my family could just quite frankly be an empire, can be a dynasty. They'd be financially free, they come into the world with the right tools, the right education from me about life, and not let school indoctrinate them about you have to go to college, you have to go get $100,000 in debt to go get a piece of paper degree on there just for you to make 40,000. No, I want them to be entrepreneurs. I want them to be business owners. I want them to be adventurers, and I want everybody, at least in South Carolina and North Carolina real estate, to remember my last name and remember my family name and my family business that we created off a diversity of real estate instead of just one, two, or three old little things like wholesale, fix and flip, and just a couple little things like that.
It sounds like the education is something that you thought about a little bit.
It is. I wish I knew what I knew at 18 now, or not even 18 at 14 before going into school. I could have put my time with education and schooling to a lot more relevant and prevalent stuff in the world. I can't never use the Pythagorean theorem. I can't tell you the last time I used like the little chemical chart thingy in science that they showed us. No, I don't use none of that. They're going to know how to do taxes, how to run a business, and how to be a free thinker to be able to navigate this world on their own, like we're all four of us are doing right now.
Yeah, I love that. I could tell you what a test tube is, but I couldn't tell you how to use it.
Bingo.
Very much so. Yeah. Well, I love it. I appreciate you guys for being here. This went super smooth. A little bit from the technical aspect, we had a little hiccup. But any parting words for anybody out there from any of the Peanut Gallery?
Just remind everybody what y'all do, y'all. Just tell everybody. It's like I
Nice.
told you, we're not a part of paid group, a mentorship, this or that. We built everything off of I met a builder one time just sitting in the Lowe's park, or not the parking lot, the Lowe's Foods line. It was a long line. I looked down, I was like, hey, you look like you're in blue collar work. I'm in real estate, you a builder, and he actually owned on building. So that's what I mean. Tell everybody what you do, because you never know who you're talking to.
Yeah, just talk to people. Anything from Zach, Austin?
To remind everyone to reach out to other people that are like-minded, to build your own team, to try and build that village, because, and it's going to be something we're going to talk about later in a few weeks, but that bill that's coming through in North Carolina against wholesaling, no one person can do it. You have to have that group of people behind it. Doesn't matter if it's real estate or any other action, even in working out. If you don't have someone to hold you accountable and to support you in it, your chances of falling down is going to be a lot greater. So reach out and network, talk to each other, help each other out.
Appreciate it. If y'all will hang out for a minute so we could make sure the recordings are all uploaded and good. I will see Zach back on June 25th. If anybody wants to reach out and find out more about what they've got going on, Josh or Austin at mintstarhomesolutions.com. That will be in the show notes. It's also in the chat right now. And porchlightadvisors@gmail.com if you want to find out more about Zach. If you want to hear more from Zach, June 25th, he'll be back here live at noon Eastern time. See y'all later. Oh, that was very cool. That was our first ever group discussion on networking with Nathaniel, and it went pretty darn smoothly, if I might say so myself. I love what Zach is talking about from the it takes a village, it takes a community standpoint of things. It's you hear that term regarding raising a child so often, and it is absolutely true when it comes to raising a child. It is much easier when you have a village to help you bear the load. And it is absolutely true and is absolutely prevalent in business, in your mindset, and in your personal development as well. And that's why inside Fit Fatherhood, we love the village aspect of things. That's why we've grown this Facebook group to where it's at, because it does take a village from so many different standpoints. It's not just about your kids, it's about your business, it's about your health, and being around those like-minded individuals. They mentioned how they have, kind of open office hours for their affiliates. Every week, I have open office hours, Thursdays at noon Eastern time. If you're feeling stuck in your business, if you're feeling like you need some help getting past some hurdles on the phones with sellers, past some hurdles on the phones with agents, if you want to underwrite, if you want to comp, whatever you're really needing in your business right now, go to nathanielhefsepian.com. I think it's still labeled Helping Hands Hour on there. We have rebranded it as just open office hours, so it's a little bit more palatable for people to understand. If you made it this far and you haven't done so yet, please hit the like button. If you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. We're always dropping new videos pretty much on the daily basis right now. And there's new episodes of Networking with Nathaniel every week at noon Eastern time. Next week, we will have a very cool guest, a little bit outside of the real estate space. So that's really exciting to have some other entrepreneurial perspectives coming in. Until next week, I appreciate y'all. Have a blessed day.